Hi everyone, super excited to be here, super excited to be working with Cambridge. I always use Cambridge textbooks through the old syllabus and into the new syllabus, and I was really excited when Cameron and Scott reached out and started asking about what we sort of needed in this new edition. And I said, oh, wouldn't it be great if we had a small appendix that could help teachers and students know what to do when it came to PSMT. And they said, oh, great, why don't you write it? And that's how it all got started, and that's what I've done. And so this is why I am super excited about this. So this is the appendix that I've written for the new Year 11 textbook, and it's appendix designed for explicitly teaching the problem solving and modeling task. I think that as teachers, it's our job to show students exactly what we're looking for them in Year 12, and Year 11 is a great opportunity to do that. And this, I hope, will be a wonderful resource for you to use in that conversation. So to create this, I've used a lot of resources. I went and visited the QCAA and spoke to them for hours. I read every single subject report from general, methods, and specialist. That's 12 subject reports. Grabbed all of the information that they were giving us, grabbed all of the samples, spoke to a whole bunch of teachers around Queensland. And if that's you, thank you so much for your help with all of this. And I think we've got something here that you can use that's very, very useful. So it'll guide them through the PSMT. It'll talk to them about how it's marked. You can see it's referencing the ISMG throughout the entire appendix, which I think is really important because students need to know that they're aiming for that, shooting for that the whole time. You can see these little QR codes here. Now, if you've seen me before, you know I'm a big fan of videos. So I've made sure that we've got QR codes throughout the appendix that you can scan and you can jump straight into a video, and I'll talk you through whatever the page is, whatever the thing is. Just add a little bit of context, and some people would prefer to hear someone speak than read it off a page. So you've got a whole bunch of videos throughout that appendix. You've also got student samples from across all of the subject reports. So it was tempting here to only use samples from general maths, but in the end, it seemed like actually it was best to take the best from the best subject reports. So I've grabbed some from general, I've grabbed some from methods, grabbed some from specialist, so that they can see what I think is the best examples of each thing, the best examples of observations, the best examples of assumptions, the best examples of how to evaluate the reasonableness of your solution, that kind of thing. So super excited about putting all of that in there. I think it is a valuable resource from the QCAA that we don't always get time to engage with, so it's all there for you. Got a whole couple of pages where we sort of talk about a nice model of setting up your solve. Some sentences, some maths, some sentences, and talking about what each of those sentences has inside of them. Inside of those sentences, you're verifying your results, your justified statements of assumptions, justified statements of observations, decisions made, all of that great stuff. So some nice little examples here. The maths is not complicated here, but the point is not the maths. The point is the layout of it. And you can see we're referencing the ISMG throughout, continuing to say, hey, this is what we're driving towards. We're trying to hit these little dots here, trying to get 20 out of 20. Now, there's a bunch of other cool stuff inside of this appendix as well, or at least stuff that I think's cool, stuff that I think's important. The difference between observations and assumptions. I know students can get confused there about what an observation is, what an assumption is. I spent some time there really breaking it down, comparing, contrasting. We've also got lots and lots of examples of how to show efficient use of technology. Often students, I found, use technology, but then they don't show that they've used technology, so they're not getting that top mark that they could be getting. 4 different ways to verify results. I'm pretty proud of this one actually, because sort of looking at hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of PSMTs found that depending on what the topic is, you're going to have better ways of verifying your results. Verifying your result is kind of a new dot point, so super excited for that one. Also, guiding questions for strengths and limitations. I know students have often struggled with what is a strength, what is a limitation. Often they'll talk about maybe their own limitations or the limitations of their technology or something like that. But use some guiding questions there to give students some key ideas about how to find those strengths and limitations. And then finally, a bit there where we talk about the importance of assumptions. So students often don't realize exactly how important those assumptions are. They're right. They tend to be right at the beginning of your PSMT, but they are very important for your solve section, very important for evaluating the reasonableness of your solution, very important in your strengths and limitations. So spending a lot of time on those assumptions and talking about and illustrating why they're so important. All right, that is the appendix that we're going to have in this new one. It's in the Year 11 textbook, which I'm excited about because, like I said, I think Year 11 is the place where you can really hit these students and help them out and guide them so that in Year 12 you can release them a little bit, give them a little less guidance, still provide them some feedback, but Year 11 is really the time to explicitly teach them how to get this done.